They say if we'll only avoid any confrontation with the enemy, he'll forget his evil ways and learn to love it.
Hi, and welcome to the Too Much Coffee podcast, where we talk about hip-hop news and everybody's favorite politics. I'm Arthur Fantastic, and this week we have a ton of segments. We're going to have a break in the middle. We're going to do a couple more segments, and then we're going to finish on answering some questions. Once again, people, if you got some questions, don't be scared to ask in the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're listening on Spreaker, always can hit me up on any social media at Arthur Fantastic, ArthurFantastic. That's one word. You can go to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, X videos, Pornhub, wherever the fuck you want to go, you can hit me up on there. Arthur Fantastic on YouTube. I am Golden Ruffin, GULDENRUFFIAN, and I also will have a new channel over here under Arthur Fantastic for some of the music that I'm going to be coming up with. Last week I also posted some extra content on my channel. It's called Case Study, Yamcha and Gohan, which is discussing the paths that the characters take in the anime and how they affect each other and what we can learn from them, both positive and negative. I thought it was pretty cool. Definitely check that out. Put the link in the description below, and also have one of those little eye bubbles that pops up for you to check out. So we're going to talk about some stuff this week. I will definitely get to those questions that people ask me. They ask me in person or over text and stuff like that. But we'll get to that later. We're going to start off with some news. So the thing that everybody's talking about right now, of course, is Usher, and he has herpes. So first off, who is surprised by this? You know what I mean? Like, after hearing confessions, or why are you surprised that he has herpes when you know he's a fucking hoe? He's like a man hoe. And like, there's no fucking ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you didn't know that, then you smack yourself in the face. Problem with a lot of, like, you know, famous artists nowadays and what's going on with, you know, just the culture in general, it's become like an over-sexualized, excessive culture. You know what I mean? Everybody has seen at least one show where sex is just, like, essentially the main driving force for the drama in it, whether it be Grey's Anatomy or shows that are like, what are these called, reality shows, like Love and HipHop or Wives of Atlanta or whatever. What was that? And like some of the later seasons of Real World, which I did like the first couple seasons, but you know what I mean, how far we've fallen. But to go on and rant about this for a couple minutes, I'm going to talk about essentially a lot of people in Hollywood and in the industry of music and, you know, entertainment are fucking infested with sexually transmitted diseases, STDs for short, STIs if you want to be PC. I think that's like the more PC. Let me have a little bit of coffee here. And people idolize these motherfuckers who are essentially just talking about sex 24/7, whether it's in a song or acting as a, you know, as an actor, just portraying sex, you know what I mean, or whatever. Because you may not even know this, but there's a lot of movies out there that you've watched and they have sex scenes and you were like, oh, this is fake or whatever. They probably have their dick taped down or whatever, or taped back or some shit like that, which they have done. Or taped to the leg, whatever they fucking do, you know what I mean? But there's been movies where you've seen where they've actually had sex in the movie. You know what I mean? You can look this up online. There's like a couple of movies. I think one of them was like a Halle Berry scene or something like that, which I was really surprised about, but isn't Halle Berry crazy or whatever? And there's a whole bunch. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there's tons of lists. You know what I mean? They're talking about, oh, you know, sex scenes that you didn't know they were really having sex. So whatever. There's that. You know, everybody that is in the know, and if for the uninitiated, I'll let you in on it now. The casting couch is not just porn. Okay, that's an idea that's pulled from Hollywood. Having sex with the person that you're trying to get the part from, the agent. This is the casting director or whatever, agent, you don't fuck your agent. I mean, maybe you do. But that's a real thing, and let's just say that those people aren't so fucking clean either. They're fucking whoever was willing to fuck them. This is people that are put in power. Whenever you give power over another person, they're going to try to fuck you over, literally or figuratively, financially, however the fuck you want to describe it. That shit happens. So that's why I'm against big government. You know what I mean? As a conservative, as a classic liberal, I don't like big government. I don't like fucking people in power. I fucking have a problem with people in power, dude. Like, people with authority. I try to respect people, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But know that this is not some kind of like, underground thing where a couple people are fucking their way to the top all the time in Hollywood, and don't fucking deny it. Don't fucking get your shit twisted. There's so many people that are doing this. Well, let's look at R. Kelly. Why does he have a sex cult? Because they're promised fucking success and development, but really they're just fucking put into a sex cult in his house. Look at Aaliyah. Aaliyah, when she was like 15, was fucking with R. Kelly. Isn't that gross? I mean, Aaliyah's hot. Yeah, we can all agree on that. And then he was dating that one chick that was like 16. Later on, she was like light skinned, had blue eyes and blonde hair. She was hot too, but you know, like, that shit's wrong, dude. You're a man. You're an adult. It's gross. Stop doing shit like that. But it's not going to stop unless we start holding people accountable. We look at Corey Feldman. Corey Feldman's talking about shit that's happening in the industry. Elijah Wood didn't say that it happened to him, but he said it happens. Fucking Corey Feldman, Corey Haim. These are kids when they're kid actors. Who else? Macaulay Culkin. These are people that are talking about that now. And the most recent is Justin Bieber talking about it now. So Justin Bieber, you know what I'm saying? I don't like him. He's an asshole, but he's talking about pedophiles in the industry. This shit is happening. You know what I'm saying? Let's consider the reality of things like Pedogate and Pizzagate, which will come up on a upcoming episode for the conspiracy crash course. I will have other topics, but we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm not going to have every episode have a conspiracy crash course, just for, you know, time's sake and keeping things current. What else is there to say? We can go down a list of people that have STDs that are uncurable. Pamela Anderson, Rihanna. Oh, and let's talk about Rihanna for a second. Remember when Chris Brown, like, beat the shit out of her? It's pretty well known in the... maybe, I don't know, it's not obviously main press, but she and Chris Brown have one of the H's. Whether it's HIV, herpes, or hepatitis, one of those incurable ones, they have it, and it's gross. You know what I mean? That's gross. Who else? Did I say Charlie Sheen? Charlie Sheen, Magic Johnson. People who get into these places where they can fuck whoever they want are not ready for that. And being weak and human, you end up falling in temptation. If you don't stand for anything, you fall for anything. And people are just fucking. And you're wondering why all these people all over the place are having all these gross STDs and why there's outbreaks. Well, you have a whore that comes to a show or a game, fucks a athlete who has an STD. They go out and fuck other people, the groupie or the hoe. And, of course, the athlete or musician will keep going and fucking other people, too, which is fucking gross. And then you have these fucking crazy outbreaks of nasty fucking shits, whether it's HIV or herpes or whatever, in places that may have not seen, like, really bad outbreaks for a long time. You know what I mean? It exists, but at a very low level. But when then things like that happen, kind of gross. So we need to stop trying to put value in people's dicks and pussies. Why are we fucking putting Cardi B up on this pedestal? And I'm taking her as an example. Sorry not to single you out, Cardi B. Why are we putting Cardi B on this fucking pedestal? When she first came out, I didn't even know who she was. She was giving out like links to free mixtapes or her free mixtape, and I didn't even download it or listen to it, but I gave my number to get the link or whatever, and I still get like texts from it, and I looked into Cardi B, and after I found out about it, like, I'm just like, that's gross, man. Like, why do people fucking look up to Cardi B? Cardi B is literally just as bad, if not worse, than what's this bitch's name? Amber Rose. She is literally going out there. At least Amber Rose is trying to play it slick, which is not as one of my. They're both fucking bad. There's no fucking comparison. But Cardi B is making music and making statements and talking about how she uses men to buy her shit and uses sex as a tool, and there's no love, respect. She never doesn't look like she's gonna have a kid if she has a kid already. I don't. I've never heard of it. It's probably terrible that she's such a bad fucking example. And we're putting strippers on like the top of the pedestal like they're from some fucking social like king. They're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not. They're not some king or queen. They're using their pussy for financial gain or success, which is not how it should fucking work. It should be on merit and integrity and morals and shit like that, but that's not how the world works anymore. What happened to honor? Nothing. It's gone. Honor is not a thing anymore. And I'm not saying she's stupid. She's intelligent as fuck. This is obviously a smart plan. But when you are doing that and then talking about it and praising it and being prideful and doing some horse shit, and people that are younger than you, whether they're 21 or fucking 13, are idolizing you, you need to be a fucking good role model. I understand you can talk about your struggle, but when you're talking about bad shit that you know is bad and saying that shit is good, it's not. I'm not defending anybody that she may have beefed with on whatever show she was on, whatever, but I will say that her argument is just as bad as anybody else's argument. It's stupid. It's whorish. Please stop fucking holding your tongue, people. Let's fucking hold this shit accountable. Why is she fucking exploding right now? I can appreciate her struggle. I can appreciate her putting out stuff. Why do we like fuckboys? Why do we like hoes? Let's get fucking over it as a society. Like, good-looking people have pussies, and good-looking people can have fucking whorish fucking ideals. And I will use that word whore to its fucking full potential. I fucking believe that shit. And if we were to just continue just a little bit longer, I was just talking about pedophilia with R. Kelly. Let's look at other people that are fucking terrible too. Roman Polanski? Why are liberals so fucking about Roman Polanski? Roman Polanski literally drugged a kid who was super young. Was she like 15, 16, 13, 14, whatever? Somewhere in that range, in the early teens, early to mid-teens, not legal yet, drugged her and fucked her against her will. She said no, and he put on trial, convicted, and then ran to France. And everybody is clapping at the Oscars or whatever when he's awarded an award, but can't come to collect it because if he did, nigga would be in jail. That shit's gross. Why the fuck are we holding people like that to this great fucking status? Fuck that guy. His movies weren't even that good. Fuck that motherfucker. Or whatever he was making. Music shit? I don't fucking know. No, I'm thinking of Spectre. Yeah, fuck that guy too. He killed somebody. Jesus. So, pedophilia, Roman Polanski. Now let's move to another Roman Zulansky. Nicki Minaj. Why the fuck would you name yourself over, like, is that even a slick, like, trading one letter to Roman Zulansky? Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, or aka Roman, has a brother who's going on trial for pedophilia, and she's defending him, and we had heard Remy Ma call this motherfucker out. Remy Ma is real as fuck. I can appreciate that. Don't appreciate the horseshit, but she doesn't really talk about horseshit for the most part. But she's calling out Nicki Minaj and her brother for being a fucking pedophile. And why the fuck is she defending him? Shit is gross. Shit is gross. Let's stop doing this as a society. God. All right. Well, let's end this segment here. And let me sip this coffee here. Boy. On any social media, Arthur Fantastic. On Spreaker, Arthur Fantastic. These are all the websites I'm always talking about. Definitely check us out. ArthurFantastic.com. I'm putting up articles now. That's my website. It's been up for a little bit, but it's been really slow to work. If you are a web developer or just one of my friends that's listening that are good with like the internet and making sites, please contact me. I need help with it. I'm having trouble putting like ads on it. Obviously, that's what I need to do to make a little bit of money on the traffic, but also the site that I'm using is using Site Builder. I didn't know at the time when I was paying for it and everything. I'm kind of locked in for a while. But Site Builder, what the fuck? I'm good with HTML. Now it's like some WordPress shit. Like, people are using WordPress. I understand that HTML is hard, whatever. It's not that hard, but whatever. You don't have the time to learn it. Cool. You can pay somebody else to do it. I didn't need to do that. I know how to work HTML, but now I can't even fucking edit the HTML because fuck, I'm using the site. All right. Anyway, arthurfantastic.com. Check that out. Or at arthurfantastic on any social media. We're gonna take a break here, and then we're gonna come back with the next segment. Welcome back to the Too Much Coffee podcast. I'm Arthur Fantastic, your host. We'll be talking about news, hip-hop, and of course, everyone's favorite, politics, society, culture, all that shit. So now we're going to talk about something that I find really interesting. Is the other day I was having a conversation with my friends, and we were talking about manhood. Like, everybody, it seems, would say that you become a man when you have sex for the first time. I disagree. All right? Fuck. Like, not putting down sex. I love sex. But why the fuck are we always putting so much value in sex? Like, what? What? Chill the fuck out, dude. Like, sex is great. I fucking love it. It's like one of my favorite fucking things. But let's fucking be real about this. Why the fuck do we need a woman to be a man? That's not true. That's not how it works. Before, maybe if you had sex and there was a good chance of having a kid, that would be a step toward manhood and adulthood in general. Sex was a step toward adulthood. But here's the thing. When you have sex now with birth control, abortion, Plan B, condoms, having sex is just another thing. You don't have to worry about the consequences of something other than STDs, which a lot of people don't even give a fuck about because we live in the Western world where you can just pretty much do whatever you want, have AIDS, and you'll be fine. But the reality of the situation is there's no consequence. There's none of that stuff. When originally you have sex, but you knew the consequence to that was probably having a kid. But now most people aren't having kids unless, you're poor or stupid or too young which is probably stupid, to use a condom or be responsible. You know what I'm saying? These are the people who are having kids, all right? Not fucking intelligent people. So intelligent people are not having as many kids as they should be. And people that shouldn't be having kids at all are having tons of kids. This is great, right? And guess who's paying for it? Us as a society, when we're paying all this bullshit for the social fucking safety net or whatever. But beyond that, let's talk about what really is the first step to manhood. And in my opinion, now in today's current society, today, setting sex aside, obviously, I think the first step into manhood is losing your first fight. Not a sport, not a game, a real fucking fight. Maybe if you do boxing or sparring or something like that, that's fine. The first time you lose a real fight. Okay? Not basketball, because you're playing basketball and you're playing really good, but you get dunked on. In the back of your head, you're like, I could whoop his ass, though. He might be able to dunk on me or shoot a three, but I could whoop his ass. Oh, he might be able to catch a ball or tackle me, but I could still whoop his ass. That's all the ego and pride in the back of your mind trying to keep itself intact. But the reality of the situation is that when you lose your first real fight, that's your first step to becoming a man. Not when you're a kid and you get in a little scuffle and there's like a teacher or your mom saying, "Are you okay?" Blah, blah, blah. No, when you're a young adult and you get in a fight and you lose and there's no one to coddle you or anything like that, and you see a lot of things for the first time. You see your mortality as a man. That's really important. Knowing that you're immortal. Up to that point, you think you're fucking immortal, undefeatable. You're stronger than everybody. Like, oh, I can whip that guy's ass. I can whip that guy, kill him, blah blah blah. But when it truly happens, and you lose, and you see more of your mortality, it's really important as a man. How you react from the loss is also important. A loser will just lose and continue losing. You know what I'm saying? There are more nerds that are real men than there are men who are the guys who are real men. There's a story in Forrest Griffin's book about a dude who's super nerdy, and Forrest Griffin jumps out of the car with his friends and beat the shit out of him, but he keeps getting up, and they keep beating the shit out of him, and he keeps getting up, though, and he had that will to fight inside of him. That's some real manly shit, and they were going to kill him if they kept fighting him, so they left. So who really won that fight? No one really, but I mean, he did. With his will. But when you really lose a fight and you get your ass whooped, it opens your eyes. It humbles you. These are steps toward true manliness. Back to how you react to a loss. Sorry to backtrack here. When you lose and you get up and you want to better yourself, not let that happen again, that's manly. You know what I mean? Accepting the loss, accepting that L. I hate using it as one letter because the loss is such a deep thing to lose. You know what I mean? It is important to learn from a loss. It's important to grow from a loss. People don't do that anymore. People can't even respect the loss. They're like, oh, loss, he's second place, blah, blah, blah. You know, he finished last, blah, blah, blah. He's not important. What the fuck are you doing? All right? You're not even there. Humble yourself. You're not in that race. You wouldn't even be able to get in this top tier of performing or competing. You're not in the NFL. You're not in the NBA. He might be on the bench, but he's sure damn better than you are. Oh, man. A lot of people think that they can carry the world on their back, for instance. People who play basketball, there's always that ball hog who thinks that he can carry the world on his shoulder, but they won't. When they go up against good competition, they won't. You know what I'm saying? Kobe is different. Kobe is a motherfucking worker, all right? He's been trying all of his life. He's been working all of his life. That's all he does. And I'm going to get back to the situation with Kobe and stuff like that in a minute. But to finish out this point, losing that first fight is eye-opening for a man. We can't forget this. We don't value losses. We don't value being able to learn stuff like that. And, you know, I want to talk about, while I'm on here and we're talking about fighting, I don't think that boxers and MMA fighters should have gloves. Fuck gloves. I think you should have a mouth guard and a cup because, you know, we can't, you know, it's a simulated fight. You know what I mean? We're not going to allow ball punches, really. Ball punches are eye gouges and fucking break people's teeth and shit. So you should have a mouth guard and a cup. But beyond that, nothing about gloves prevents anything in terms of injury. What the fuck? If anything, it's causing more injury. Imagine you have a regular size fist, right? How heavy is that? No tape on it, whatever. How hard are you going to really punch a person with reckless abandon? You're going to break your hand. Every time you see Mike Tyson get in a real fight on the street in the scuffles when they're hyping up fights, he breaks his fucking hand. Because he's a good puncher. I'm sure that he's great at punching. But when you box, they wrap your hand or tape it in the fight. And that shit keeps your hand super duper, what's the word here? In the shape that it needs to be to make it a good punch. Basically taping your hand closed, can't open it, and it's a closed fist for the entire fight. That's why people always want to get that shit cut off immediately after the fight. Even MMA fighters, they have a problem with that shit, grappling because of the tightness and the glove. What the fuck does it do? It makes your hand heavier. It makes your hand fucking less fragile. If it was a real fight and you're throwing those punches, you're going to break your fucking hand. That's not good technique. I thought these competitions were about making good technique and good fighters. And also about entertainment and stuff like that. But these motherfuckers would not be sending as many punches as they would be in a real fight because they'd be breaking their fucking hands, all right? And what does a boxing glove do? You adding another fucking pound to your hand? 2 pounds maybe? Well, how many ounces in a pound? Was it 8 or 16? Fuck it. It doesn't even matter. You're using 16-ounce gloves, and you're punching, that's an extra 16 ounces with a hand that is being thrown as hard as you can. Prince Nassim, if you've ever heard of him, he's a great boxer, retired because he kept breaking. He was throwing punches so hard his hand would break. There was so much power and force in his hands, they would break his hands. And same thing has happened with Floyd Mayweather. All these fucking boxers are breaking their hands because they're punching so hard that they're punching so hard, harder than their body could possibly handle, than their body is made for. The body is not made to punch things. Period. You know what I mean? One could argue that the body's not made to fight at all, but we have adapted because it's necessary, because the world is a fucking violent place. Okay, I can accept that. I believe in martial arts. I think all that stuff, I've talked about it before on the John Jones segment in episode 4, that, shit like martial arts should be about discipline, but if we're talking about professional fighting and they have gloves and shit, dude, that's fucking fake as shit. You would not be able to, if you missed one punch and hit the floor of the ring as an MMA fighter in a MMA match, you might break your hand. The floor does not give, all right? Or let's say you fight in a real world and you ground and pounding somebody and you punch them in the ground and you hit the ground with your fist when you're trying to smash somebody's face, you'll break your hand. You're going to break your hand, and no one talks about it because of injuries and this, that, the other thing. Why the fuck are you guys such pussies? Not to call MMA fighters pussies. I'm talking about people who are arguing against who are arguing for gloves, whatever. Anyway, it's not. All it does is just add to the blunt force trauma that people receive over the course of their careers and in the course over fights. Extra 16 ounces of extra force punches to a person's head, 12 rounds, let's say, of a boxer getting hit as hard as they can in the fucking head for who knows how long if they don't fucking fall. That's like repeated concussions and shit, dude. You're gonna, well, why the fuck? They made a joke on Family Guy. What happens if Muhammad Ali had quit, or was that Cleveland? And he's just talking normal and he has no tremors or anything like that. Just because, think about the number of punches he took to the fucking head. That shit's bad. You know what I mean? I think it would be better if they didn't have gloves. I think they should allow head kicks on the ground. I think that they should fucking, if you get knocked out earlier in the fight, it's way better than being blunt force trauma over and over and over again, because these guys are athletes. Let's not fucking coddle them. These gloves are doing nobody any good. It's worse. There's all these things like grabbing the glove and then you have John Jones poking people's eye. You know what I mean? You're losing it in your vision because of the way it looks. You can't grapple as good. Fuck it. Just take a punch, a real fist to the face, and that person breaks their fist on your face. Guess who's gonna win? The grappler, dude. So I'm not worried about any of these things. You know what I mean? If you're a Muay Thai fighter, you got elbows and kicks. Last part of this segment, I'm talking that I went on a tangent here. I remember Uriah Faber breaking both of his fists on the top of Mike Brown's head, because Mike Brown would duck his head forward and take the punches on the crown of his head, the hardest part of your body. So Uriah Faber had 2 broken hands in this fight, so he would throw leaping elbows and get really close. And that's a warrior. That's a fighter, man. And that's also very indicative of the problem I'm talking about. You throw a really hard punch as a person and you hit the top of their head and you break your fist, you're not going to be fucking fighting. You know what I'm saying? So maybe you throw a pawing jab with a no glove, and maybe you set up your punches a little bit better instead of just fucking throwing reckless abandon like a fucking brawler on the street. I think a lot of fighters would not be doing as well if they didn't have their wrapped hands when they're just throwing with reckless abandon because they know their hands are going to be okay. It's kind of a cheat, right? It's kind of a cheat when you know that you're going to be okay if you don't wrap your hands. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's the end of that one. If you have never lost a fight, I'm not Brad Pitt from Fight Club. I'm not Tyler. I'm not fucking telling you go to a fight and lose a fight. But there's a truth to it. Lose a fight. No, I'm not telling you to lose a fight, but if you're really like a fighter, like a boxer, or MMA fighter, or whatever, maybe you should be fighting somebody that's better than you. That will make you better too. It's like a saying thing. You don't get better by just beating everybody. You do get better by getting your ass whooped and learning from your mistakes. People say that the people don't win in the fight, they win in practice. Then they come to the fight and make it happen. And that's true. That's true. Think about people who have been born with like awesome talent and never had to see any hardship, and people just let them, they're just fucking so talented, they just win and win and win. They're cocky, they're assholes, they are mentally not as strong as maybe some of the people that are really good. Dan Gable, he had like 300 wins or some wrestling wins or some shit like that, but he put in so much practice. He won the Olympics or something like that, and immediately he's training the next day because he knew people were already training, and he would not let anybody out-train him. He was a fucking warrior, dude, and that's the stuff that we need to put into... Let's put that on a pedestal. Fuck Cardi B. I mean, I appreciate that she's hustling and she's been going and going, but when we're putting Chris Brown and Cardi B and shit like that and fucking... I don't know, LeBron James and shit. Like, fuck those guys. They're born naturally talented and big and or beautiful, and they all they have to do is just keep going. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to fucking take these L's like fucking Stephen Curry and motherfuckers like that. You have to take a loss before you can really win, because there's no winning without losing, right? If everybody was just winning all the time, like what the fuck? There would be no loss. Then winning would not be even special. Winners and champions wouldn't be special either, because everybody would be a champion if everybody's winning all the time. So the reality of the situation is hardship makes a man, and his reaction to the hardship. Lose a fight, even if it's in practice, even if it's, just wrestling or grappling or something physical, and I'll extend it to some sports or whatever. Just take that L. Take that first L and learn from it. That's the first step to manhood, in my opinion. All right. So here at the Too Much Coffee podcast, you can contact us, and by us I mean me, because it's just me, at Arthur Fantastic and any social media. Let me take a little bit of this coffee. We're going to do a couple of quick hits here after a little bit of messages from our sponsor. Do we have sponsors? Hey, do we have sponsors, guys? I don't know. And when I'm talking to somebody else, it's actually me. Stuff that we're going to talk about. For instance, let's talk about some stuff in the news in North Korea. Why is everybody so scared of North Korea? Shut the fuck up. North Korea is like a fucking child compared to the American military industrial complex. Like, there's no way they're going to do anything to us. And if they do, then you better know that it's a fucking planned false flag attack. Like, whether they did it and we let them, or we are doing it to ourselves. Better know that shit, because I don't know. You guys have probably seen that movie, Olympus Fallen. We have anti-missile shits in fucking the Capitol. There's no way that plane could get that close to the White House. That's so fucking retarded. Like, it's a good movie, action, blah, 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 whatever, touch my heart, da, 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 da. Good, whatever. American all the way. I love America too, so cool. But there's no way that shit like that could or is going to ever happen. No nuclear missile from the shoddy-ass North Korean country is ever going to get over here. Kim Jong-un, you can suck my dick. You can't do shit to me. I live in America. I'm an American citizen, and America will fucking kill you if you kill one of our American citizens. You better know your fucking shit and respect my... Put respect on my name. Better put respect on my name. United States of America, motherfucker. No, seriously, though, Kim Jong-un's just asking for it, you know what I'm saying? And we are literally have our hand on the button, and they're just like, just give me a reason, motherfucker. Give me a reason. You're so stupid. You're so stupid. And I hate to make fun of, like, progressives and liberals or whatever all the time, but it just comes up all the time. The same people that are complaining about those whatever gas rockets, chemical attacks in Syria that were demanding us attack to, Syria, and then were outraged that we did it, are the same people that are like, oh, well, you want to do that to Kim Jong-un? It's going to be the end of the world. No, it's not, dude. Fucking North Korea has more human rights violations than Russia. Russia, who fucking imprison gay people and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, fuck, dude. Like, North Korea is just as bad as the fucking Middle East, fucking killing gay people and throwing them off roofs and forcing people to have transgendered surgeries if they're gay and stuff in Saudi Arabia. That shit happens. There's fucking, like, slaves in places like Qatar and shit like that. Come on, guys. Let's be real about this. North Korea literally sells its people to Russia to work in camps. Not like slaves, but essentially they're slaves. You have no choice about it. They have hard work camps in Korea, and then they send them to Siberia, the fucking worst places on earth. If you fuck up, not only are you going to these hard work camps, but like 3 or 2 generations of your family is going too, if they don't fucking kill them. Just look up the stories from people who've escaped North Korea. I want North Korea not off the map. I want Kim Jong-un out. And if you think Kim Jong-un is the reason, it's not. It's a military. The military leads him, all right? Kim Jong-un is just some fucking figurehead who sits there and thinks he's a fucking supervillain, but it's really the military fucking controlling everything. You know what I'm saying? You go to fucking places, you've seen the movies. You've seen the movies with what's his name? I don't fucking know what his name is. Whatever his name is. I have to look it up. James Franco. We all see the movies. We know what North Korea is like. That place is terrible. There's fucking facades. People over there are starving. People like are having like crying competitions because they need to show subservience to the fucking god emperor or whatever he is in North Korea. Kim Jong-un, suck my dick, dog. Come to Florida, see what happens. All right, see what happens. This is fucking gun-toting country, man. All right, no one fucking cares, and I'm sure you don't care what I have to say either because you rule a whole fucking country. So chill the fuck out, dude. How about you fucking get your shit together over there? Anyway. Stop being afraid of North Korea. Stop blaming fucking Russia for whatever happened in the election. If you fucking had any idea of what's going on in Vault 7, we have the technology to fucking put anybody's identity into the hacking process and make it look like anybody did it. All right? And we know that there's factions within the government, if you have done any research on this, that and willing to look at some information that might be that might stun you in the CIA, that are willing to do coups like Operation Northwoods and the Bay of Pigs. That's a real fucking thing that happened. All right, we can't argue that one. All right, Northwoods is a real declassified document from the CIA. These are the things that they're fucking thinking about, man. So you don't think that they could possibly be a part of the election? Maybe, I don't know who. I don't fucking worship Trump. I'm not. Maybe he's a part of it. I don't fucking know. With connects in the fucking CIA. Who fucking knows, in the shadow government? But beyond that, you need to fucking let's unify and figure it out together. Because the longer we're fighting each other and putting each labels on each other and doing this shit, the longer we're gonna have problems. End of story. That's North Korea. Chill the fuck out. Who cares? All right. Nothing's happening. If you want something done, let's go North Korea, put boots on the ground, and fucking deal with that shit, all right? South Korea's our fucking ally. Russia is becoming close with us. North Korea is a fucking problem. Let's fucking deal with it now before it becomes a problem. And people that don't want to talk about Iran, oh, they just want nuclear power. Do you want Iran, a country that literally wants to wipe Israel off the face of the earth with the ability to make nuclear bombs? Is that what you want? As soon as Israel became a country, the 6-Day War happened. Do you know what that is? Where every country around them fucking started bombing them? Do you know what that is? Maybe not. Maybe you should get yourself a history lesson. No one fucking knows. Fucking people don't even want to be called Iranian. They want to be called Persian that come from over there. Because how that shit used to be compared to how it is now is really fucking different. But no one wants to talk about that. All right, this part of the show, we're going to talk about some stuff in terms of questions that I've got from last week's conspiracy crash course, and I believe over time we'll get more replies and questions. Only got a couple of views on that, which is crazy, but that's cool. Whatever. I feel like maybe Google is doing some shit like that with its shadow banning, because the previous episodes are getting over 150 views, close to 200 views on both of them. So 300 something on one of them. So anyway. Somebody was telling me, well, you know, how are you going to keep this data secret? There's so many people that have to be involved, yada, yada, yada. No, you don't. First off, there's tons of people coming out about it that are talking about the indiscrepancies of, like, the flight patterns, weird shit, the ghost planes that are on the radar, Vigilant Guardian. They're talking about the falling of the towers, which is, you can go to Architects for 9/11 Truth. Once again, definitely worth a check out. Thousands and thousands of architects talking about the physical impossibility for it to happen the way it happened 3 times. All right, so it happened 3 times that day. If you don't know Building 7, I would look into Building 7. That was my wake up point. That's what made me think twice about it. No speculation needed. There are a ton of people that came out about it. A lot of them are missing or dead, or just, you know, they came out and no one fucking cared. You know what I mean? There's people that flew those planes. They're saying that flew the literal planes that they flew into the building, and they're saying those planes can't do what they did with it. And people are like, who the hell are you? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. And then debunkers will try to debunk it, but they won't have the same parameters. You know what I mean? There was like a video of a person flying one of the planes, and it was just like the smoothest of flights. And then they had a more accurate flight simulator with a pilot with a more similar piloting background, and they're not able to do it. They're saying, experts are saying that they're not able to do it. And I'm talking specifically about the flight pattern with the impact of the Pentagon. They flew over the Pentagon, did a 300 and almost 60-degree turn at a high velocity. Then the final 100, 200 yards of the flight is 15 feet above the ground, hitting steel light poles on its aluminum wings, and nothing happening. What? If a plane even going at... If you're going fast in the car on the highway, let's say you've gone 90, let's say you've gone 120, you ever been that fast and just hit like a little bump in the road? Or you're going fast and you just need to turn a little bit into another lane or get around something? You feel how fast, out of control you are with that car? Now imagine your multi-ton plane going hundreds of miles per hour, 15 feet off the ground. If you even neck the ground, you're fucking gonna fucking go crazy. Come on, man. That's just crazy. I'm not going to speculate who or what or whatever. I'm just saying the indiscrepancy with the physical reality of how things work. The building of 9/11, the amount of weight that the structure is supposed to support above it is like 4 or 5 times the structure below. All right? So the structure of you could take out like 50% or 75% almost of the structure that's holding up the building, and it would still stand fine, according to the architects, according to Montauk architects. And then you look at NIST, the NIST report, which is the people that did the investigation afterward, who have an incomplete case study or whatever, and then you have fucking the 9/11 report, which took a fucking year to fucking get together, and then people once again in the 9/11 commission said that they were set up to fail. Okay, people inside the commission, people are like, oh, why don't people come out about this? They did. They're on record saying that this 9/11 commission is set up to fucking fail. It was rushed. We're taking undocumented testimonies from the fucking vice president and the president together, and it's classified. What the fuck is going on? All right? Can't talk about it. Anyway, that is our show for this week. I'm at about the 45-minute mark. Definitely take a look at my website, arthurfantastic.com, at arthurfantastic on any social media. Definitely check out my Patreon if you're willing to donate. I would like to thank my patron for donating my first real big donation, which was $20, which is huge to me. I would like to make a big thanks to him. I don't know if he wants to be named, but you know who you are, baby. Thank you very much. $1, a one-time $1 contribution, or a $1 monthly contribution is so much to me. Means so much to me. And simply watching this video, commenting or liking means a lot to me too. I really appreciate that. If you're able to give, I thank you so much and appreciate. And I will start setting up you'll get something in return for doing such things very early on into the podcast. But if you would like to, I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And if you can't, I would love if you could just like and comment on the video and subscribe. Definitely appreciate any conversation you want to have in the comments. Always willing to reply. And hit me up on any social media. Once again, at Arthur Fantastic. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, fucking, you know the rest. We know what's up. YouTube, Golden Ruffian. Let me know what's going on. Spreaker, that's where I put my podcast without the video. You can listen on the go, download it onto your phone so you don't have to take up any kind of data on your plan. Excuse me. And listen to it on the go. And soon, once again, we're going to have it available on iTunes. Now that it's episode 5, I'm going to be upgrading to the pro account. And I'm going to be able to have ads on these episodes, as well as have more time allotted, space allotted to host what I do want to record, which is more episodes. So any type of support is greatly appreciated. $1 is fucking amazing. If you want to give more, I would appreciate that too. Any kind of subject matter you want me to talk about, let me know. I record on Thursdays and post it on Fridays. Today is August the 11th, actually, and I'm actually recording on the Friday because I was super tired yesterday. And I want to end the episode on this. I got this from Boom Bap Nation on Facebook. You can definitely go to their page and like it. I will put their page in the description. On August 11th, 1973, the Back to School Jam, it's a DJ Herc party, happened in 1520 Sedgwick Avenue. All right, this is New York. Back in the day, 9 p.m. to 4 a.m. Damn, dude, they knew how to party back then. Now things close at 2:30 at latest, 3 if you're in another state. If you gotta go to cities to get party time like that. But it's obviously Kool Herc doing the thing, special guests. It looks like Coco, Cindy C, Clark K, Timmy T. School's still out. I'm reading their flyer right now. You can check out their page right now. Their flyer, it's all written in by hand, is on their page, Boom Bap Nation. Check it out. But it's 44 years. Happy anniversary, hip hop. That's right, hip-hop started in 1973 at little parties where DJs would come on and play the breaks, people would dance, and then there would be break dancers, and then there would be an MC that might take a mic and kick a freestyle to it. You know what I mean? Get the party going. That shit was dope. People don't even remember that shit anymore. Do you even know who Kool Herc is? Do you know who Kool Herc is? Come on, get your shit together, all right? I want you to remember the past. The past is so important because if we don't remember the past, we'll be doomed, first off, to repeat our mistakes, and we'll truly never know where we came from, and how could we truly know what we're capable or able to go if we don't know where we've already been? Does that make sense? I hope it does. Anyway, once again, Arthur Fantastic on any social media. Come out, check out our my website, arthurfantastic.com. Definitely, once again, encourage you to check out my other video, case study of Yamcha and Gohan. I'm going to be coming out with another one soon, and I'll be doing more and more of anime characters and stuff like that, why they're good, why they're bad, and how they could have improved, and what we can learn from them, because those guys are awesome. Next week, I'm going to be talking about some stuff. I'm definitely going to be talking about cartoons today. I fucking am so livid about some of the cartoons I see on TV now, but that's a subject to be discussed at a later time. Once again, I'm Arthur Fantastic. This is the Too Much Coffee Podcast. Signing off. Holler at me if you want to do anything on the show. If you want to put music on here and you want it to be featured, or you want something to be talked about or anything like that, once again, just contact me, Arthur Fantastic. Anyway, holler at your boy. Peace.